Good afternoon and welcome to Your Future Impact, the show dedicated to empowering students and young professionals by connecting education with industry, providing the skills, insights and opportunities you need to succeed in your career and to make a real impact. Today we're diving into the world of hospitality, what it takes to succeed, how to build a meaningful career and the mindset behind thriving in an industry where you can genuinely go from the bottom to the top. I'm Isabel Forrest, now a senior academic and programme leader of our prestigious film and television degree here in Bournemouth, previously a creative director with BBC Television. And joining us today is Harry Murray, MBE, one of the most respected figures in British hospitality. Harry is the former chairman of Lucknow Park Hotel and Spa, president of the Hospitality Professionals Association, a master inn holder and a hotelier with over 50 years of experience. He's received multiple awards, including Hotelier of the Year and, of course, his MBE for services to the hospitality industry. Harry, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a privilege.
Oh, well, I don't know where to start. There's so much to cover here, but I suppose really all we want to know is how did you get started in this?
Well, I started with a 2-year catering course, which taught me all the practicalities of hospitality.
Yeah.
I became an associate member of the Institute of Hospitality. And then my journey started at the Midland Hotel in Manchester, where I started as an apprentice chef.
Wow, what a journey. So when you are thinking about a young person today, would they be able to follow in your footsteps, or would the route be different now to getting a job?
Well, there's numerous examples of people that started as a kitchen porter and became leaders in our industry. So it is an industry where you can start at the very bottom and get to the top,
right?
Provided you have emotional intelligence, have a heart for being kind and caring for people.
So there's some soft skills you're talking about there, and you still seem to think there's movement within the industry. But what about things like degree courses? What impact might they have, and are they useful and helpful in this kind of field?
Well, sadly, most universities now are not providing the skills, the practical skills needed for our industry.
And what would they be? What would you see as the practical skills?
Well, kitchen, front of house, being practical, housekeeping. I mean, there is one hotel school, the Edge Hotel School, which is at Essex University. They actually run a hotel.
Wow.
And they have a 40-bedroom hotel, and the students work in all departments, 25 hours. It's a 2-year course, so it saves parents money. It's a 2-year course, and they come out with the practicals and the academic skills.
So you're talking about that as an incredible epitome of what the ideal would look like. If not every university can have a hotel, what other routes to industry might there be?
The other route I would strongly recommend is the apprenticeship route.
Right.
And again, to keep the students, the hotel and parents happy, you can now get a degree going the apprenticeship route. And companies like Park Plaza, Red Carnation Hotels, Marriott Grosvenor House, Dorchester Collection, they all offer these courses, and they work with Gloucester University, and as I say, earn while you learn.
Very good. And is it likely to get? Are you likely to get a job at the end of that? Is there any direct correlation between that?
I would think with that sort of investment from those companies, they will offer them a job because they will be very rounded people.
So thank you for that. We've talked about the kind of structure of courses and how it can help, but what do you think in terms of personal qualities or behaviours that people need to be open to and exhibit to be successful in your industry?
Well, emotional intelligence is very important.
And why is that? What is the...
Because hospitality is all about emotion. It's about caring for people. It's about making people feel, when they've been to a hotel, it's the memory of how you've made them feel. And technology can't do that. Technology can help from a point of view of helping to resolve problems, but it can't place, the heart and soul of a hotel.
That's really interesting because, of course, technological innovation and AI are very much here to stay. They're very much, important things for our students currently to be thinking about. Would there be any scenarios whereby that kind of technical experience could actually be beneficial?
Absolutely, and this is the one advantage where young people, I mean, my grandsons solve all our problems because they're so digitally equipped.
Yes.
So from a solving problems point of view, they certainly can, and things like revenue management, financial management, all these algorithms, data, guest data,
Yes.
making sure you've got all the information on your guests, changing trends. So yes, I think young people have that ability to quickly adapt to that.
And in terms of AI, do you see AI having a big impact in your industry?
Yes, I think more and more AI is coming into it. I mean, it can do all kinds of things. I mean, I follow some of the larger groups, and some of the larger groups are now finding ways of reducing costs,
Yeah.
doing rotas for staff and things like that. So yes, I think AI will come in, but it will never replace, the personalised service.
Well, that's very interesting you say that, and it gives some hope to our students. So, in terms of what personal attributes would you be looking for? We've said emotional intelligence. What else are you looking for in terms of someone's character or nature?
Well, again, I mean, first of all, I'm always been an advocate of appearance, so I think appearance is very important. Certainly in terms of character. I think also a young person should have a vision. You look at if you look at sport, if you look at academia, or any of those disciplines, if you have a vision, I mean, a sportsman wants to win an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
I think a young person should have a vision. I had a vision to manage a 5-star hotel.
When you started in those early days?
I wanted to manage a 5-star hotel. That was my vision. And I did that at 32. Not because I have any sort of special skills. I had that ability to gather people around me with more skills and more experience than I had. And that was part of my success. Also, my parents taught me values, integrity, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. All those helped me to motivate and build highly emotional and motivated teams. So, I share my success with all the people I had the pleasure of working with.
So would that be a piece of advice you would give to young people today, to try to not be a master of everything and think that you need to take on every role, but to recognise the value of a team, diversity?
Absolutely. For example, I've never been a drinker. I'm sort of, I couldn't tell you very much about wine, so employ the best sommelier. And I think that is the approach I've always had.
Yes.
Empowering people to do the job. And I think one of the things that should be done is to develop leaders. You can be a leader in a department.
Yes.
If you're working, you can be a leader. Simon Sinek says, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge.
Well, that's really interesting and very inspiring. I guess one thing about all industries at the moment is that there's massive periods of change. Can you think about how an example of where you've had to face a big challenge and how you've managed to continue with your ethos and your values when faced with such adversity?
Well, I came through many challenges. I mean, the Gulf War, the Falklands War. I was chairman during the pandemic, but the financial crash in 2008. What I always did was share the problem. We're all in a competitive industry.
Yes.
And you just have to be better than everybody else. So actually sharing, sitting around a table with the team and listening to the diverse, I mean, that is so important to listen to your people. And I mean, for example, rather than make people redundant, why not put everybody on a 4-day week? Why not offer them extra holidays? And some people took extra holidays. But there are different ways of doing things. And I think, problem solving is part of leadership. But it's always involving the whole team in the problem.
That is really interesting, and I think that obviously your experience helps you to get that kind of strategic view. But if somebody's about to start off now and loves hospitality but feels really overwhelmed by how do you get in, what do you do, is there any particular advice or recommended route you'd come up with for
Well,
that?
first of all, I would never try and persuade people to come into hospitality. I have 3 sons and I have 10 grandchildren. I have not tried to persuade any of them to come. They would have to come to me. Somebody recently came to me. He's got a degree in sports management,
Okay.
but he now wants to come into hospitality. So I've invited him to come along. I'm going to mentor him on how to use his degree, but to get into hospitality. And what he needs to do is to join a company that will give him that opportunity, as long as he has the passion and the heart to do hospitality. Because it's something that you've got to love. You know, Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs of Apple fame, said, you know, to be successful, find a job you love and don't stop until you find it. I found a job I loved, and I still love it.
Wow. Well, we're now going to set you another challenge, which is we are going to do quick fire round. So we're going to ask you some quick questions and see what you come up with to inspire everybody. So let's go. What is one skill that somebody new joining your industry really needs to show?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. Okay, and I bet in your career you've met lots of famous people and you'll need emotional intelligence. Who have you met?
I've been very privileged. Firstly, I met the late Queen Elizabeth II, President Mandela.
At the same time?
Yes, we did a banquet for them.
Did you?
For 500 people with 1 week's notice.
Really?
And asked me to arrange the menu. And Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton.
Not all at the same time?
No.
That would be pushing it,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
yes.
Although, from what you're telling me, your whole life and your career does feel like a movie. If it had to be one particular genre, what genre would you pick for your life in your industry?
The happiness business. Hospitality is the happiness business.
The happiness business. Oh, well, we all love a happy ending, don't we? Harry, thank you so much for joining us today on Your Future Impact. Your insight, experience and lifelong commitment to raising standards across the hospitality sector have really been genuinely inspiring. And to everyone watching, we hope today's conversation has encouraged you to explore what's possible, whether you're just starting out, considering a new path, or looking to build on the skills you already have. If you have any questions or you'd like more support with careers, interviews or skills development, you can always find us on Facebook or Instagram. We're here to help, guide and cheer you on. So thank you very much for joining us.